So, anthropologist James Sussman said of the hunter-gatherers he studied, they were absolutely confident that they would be able to get the food from their environment that they needed when they needed it. This confidence was well-founded. In only about 15 hours each week, these people could meet their food needs using only their physical labor and the intimate knowledge of the land where they harvest, the product of generations, if not millennia, of intimate relationship between the people and the piece of earth where they make their home. Another 15 or 20 hours per week were spent on domestic chores. So in a less than 40-hour work week, this particular group of African hunter-gatherers can meet their food needs and care for their homes and communities with the rest of the time left for song, dance, story, ritual, ceremony, craft, relationship, leisure, human culture. That which makes us who we are is a product of the abundant earth from which, for 90% of the time our ancestors walked this planet, they were able to harvest everything they needed. The abundant earth is still meeting our human needs. Look around. Everything you see is a product of the earth. Processed by human effort, yes, but from the wood of our altar table to the carpet, made out of synthetic fibers, created from the body of our ancient ancestors, the dinosaurs, these fossil fuels. No matter how detached you may feel from the cycles of the earth's abundance, still, everything we touch, everyone we meet, every interaction we have, all our food and water, it is all from the earth. We have only the earth, this one single planet that we know so far is the only one that can support life. Your sense of disconnection from the sacred earth, it's an illusion. She is the mother of all that is. Everything I am grateful for, that I touch or eat or breathe or hear or love, it is all earth. Let us pause and breathe together just for a moment, breathing in gratitude for the earth's abundance. And even as we breathe in that gratitude for abundance, we know that there is scarcity among us. We have neighbors who do not have enough to eat, who have to sleep outside, unsheltered at night. Maybe that's you. And here I am telling you that the earth is abundant. Be grateful. Beloved community, I stand by the truth that earth is abundant, the truth that we have much to be grateful for, but here is another truth. Humanity groans with the pain of manufactured scarcity. We can produce enough food to feed everyone on the planet. There are enough homes in the US for all the people who live unsheltered, all of us who have homes, and then there are still homes left over. Those are facts. There isn't scarcity. There is a white supremacist capitalist unwillingness to make Earth's abundance accessible to everyone. Look to the hunter-gatherers, beloveds. Scarcity is a social construct. Africa is not a poor continent. It is a continent that was stripped of everything Europeans could carry away, including human beings, to become the wealth of the US and other empires. Scarcity is a lie, which is why recognizing abundance and experiencing gratitude are radical, revolutionary, countercultural. In their book, Saving Paradise, Rebecca Parker and Rita Brock chronicle their rediscovery of what the early Jesus followers knew, that paradise is right here on this earth, which is permeated and blessed by the divine. Jesus' people knew it was their job to create the paradise Jesus helped them to imagine. And they lived in intentional communities of shared resources. Brock and Parker point out that the most common story across the different biblical texts is the story of the feeding of the multitudes. Here's how I learned that story as a child. Jesus was teaching a whole bunch of people who had started to follow him everywhere he went just to learn from him. As the crowd started to get hungry, Jesus and the disciples asked if anyone maybe had some food to share. The way I heard it, a little boy came forward with some fish he had caught and some bread his mother had baked from the grain his family grew. He knew it wasn't enough, but he gave it anyway. And it turned out to be more than enough for the thousands that were gathered. Jesus may have fed the multitudes, but it wasn't because he had any food himself. It was because that little boy shared what little the earth had given him, and in the sharing, in the generosity, the food was multiplied. I've heard from many of you wanting to know how we are going to address food insecurity with the instability of the SNAP program under the current federal administration. We here at Saltwater are a caring community, responding to crises in different ways. My interfaith colleagues and I are continuing our annual tradition of dedicating the offering, taking up at our worship service the evening before Thanksgiving to the Des Moines Food Bank. I hope you'll join me for that service at Normandy Park United Church of Christ, but even if you're not able to make it, I encourage you to share just a little of what you have with the food bank that serves your community and watch it multiply. As we value generosity, and we understand that generosity goes hand in hand with gratitude. As we commit to noticing abundance where we can find it, by recognizing what we have to be grateful for, no matter how small, we will discover that we do have things that we can share, whether it's pointing out the moon to another so they can appreciate its beauty too, or sharing the products of a successful new recipe with a friend or community member, or working alongside members of the community to address food insecurity or to make sure our congregation has the resources it needs to live our mission in the world. Let us relinquish the delusion of scarcity and instead lift our voices in gratitude for the abundance of the earth, our mother, our blue boat home.